What's up, guys? It's the Zen entity, and I'm here to talk about virtual reality, astral projection, the future, age of Aquarius, um, 5D Earth, fifth dimensional conscious shift, all of that good stuff. And I do talk rather slow and rather low because of the type of household that I'm in. These type of views are not accepted. So go ahead and put the video on 1.5 speed or 1.25 speed. Uh, that'll help things go on a lot faster. But the first thing I want to start off with saying is right now we're moving towards 5D consciousness. A lot of us are already there. Pretty much, yeah, a lot of us are already there. Those of us that exist outside of the zodiac are already there. The average person, or the masses, well, let me say it like this. There's like a good 1% of us that are consciously aware. Well, it may be more than that now, but on the level that I'm at, there's about 1% of us. And then on their end, the elites, they're the other 1%. So it really makes up probably about 2% that are consciously aware on this level out of the whole world. Literally out of the whole world. So that's how important you are to this equation. You got the dark side and the light side, which is really two sides of the same coin. We wouldn't be conscious if they didn't create a world full of unconsciousness. You hear me? And a lot of people have hate for the elite. A lot of people have hate for these evil individuals in power, but that you gotta let that go. And a lot of people feel like, oh my God, they're doing this. They're gonna do that. They're gonna do this. No. If you've seen any story ever, pretty much know that the hero always wins. The bad guy somehow always loses to the hero. Um, I mean, of course, there's some outlying stories where it doesn't go down like that, but in the majority of stories in existence, the bad guy has all these things planned. Keyword planned. And he plans to go about it this way. He plans to go about it that way. And he's done planning for hundreds and thousands of years, damn near. And somehow, the hero gets this miraculous ass pool power up, reaches new heights, new levels, and overcomes. Uh, it's pretty much what's gonna happen here. It's already written. If you just look, and let me go back to what I was saying about there's us that exist outside the zodiac. So you got the white elite power structure. They know what's going on. They're making shit happen, but they're just following the course of destiny. They're doing what is meant to be done in order for us to reach the next stage, which is the age of Aquarius. We're in the age of Pisces currently. We're moving towards Aquarius right now. So, those of us that exist outside of the zodiac, um, we already have a mindset of someone who. No, let me not put it that way. Actually, let me say it this way. The masses, they have a mindset of uh, the Piscean age. If you look at what the Piscean age is supposed to consist of, you'll notice that it is exactly what has taken place over the past couple thousand years. So if you look, you got a lot of belief, you got a lot of war based off of belief, um, beliefs such as religion and things of that nature. Yeah, you got a lot of things happening in this world literally based off of believing one thing that may or may not be true, believing something that there's literally no evidence for. So, in the age of Aquarius, 2020 vision, to really in 2012, Mayans marked this date to be the turning point, and as you've seen, we're 6 months into this year, and clearly, if you have eyes, this is clearly the turning point. If you have eyes, like I said, it's clearly the turning point. The average person out here is saying things that I was called crazy for saying years ago. They're not on the level that I'm at yet. I feel like that's going to take another 10 years or so, maybe even sooner. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years possibly. But all I know is they're moving my direction when it comes to thought. So, the average person 2 years ago, like, let me put it this way. All right, so a lot of people now have an understanding of what white supremacy is, systemic racism is, and everything that's been done to black people. It's common knowledge right now. In 2020, it's common knowledge. If you came to me in a time machine from 2020 and was like, hey, yo, you came to me in 2016, it was like, hey, yo, in 2020, everybody's going to know about systemic racism. They're going to be talking about it on the news. They're going to, in Juneteenth, it's going to be a holiday that's acknowledged. Jobs are going to be letting people off on that day. People are all around the world are going to acknowledge the black man's plight. People all around the world are going to no longer be ignoring what's been in their face the whole entire time. People will be calling out white supremacy. People of all races will somewhat be coming together to acknowledge this thing that's been in their face the entire time. People all around the world will be coming together to acknowledge what black people has been talking about. The things that, like, for example, in 2016, let's say as for example, Tyreek went. Well, he has done this, but let's say Tyreek Nasheed went on TV. Let's say he went on Fox News and talked to Tucker Carlson, and he started talking about there's race soldiers that have infiltrated the police, and they're carrying out the duty of the white supremacists, and they're pretty much waging a race war on us right now. Tariq Nasheed has done things of that nature. He's spoken that way. They've said there's systemic racism, this systemic racism, that systematic racism, that systemic racism, that police system is this and that. And that. You guys get it. So these things have been talked about in the past, but due to the collective consciousness of the masses not being at the level yet to where they can see these things that are hidden in plain sight, which is a cult. Well, pretty much the black man's plight is a cult. It's part of the whole occult equation. I'll get into that, but the black man's plight is occult information, because it ties into everything else that I'll talk about later. So that being said, everybody, let's say I said 2016 example, 2020, everybody understands that. If I say white supremacy, racism, the government is doing this to black people, oh, black people deserve reparations because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, nobody's going to look at me like I'm crazy, whereas 2 years ago they would have. And it's always been true. It's always been true. And it's always been apparent. But it's hidden in plain sight. It's called. So, uh, all the people that have been aware, they've been putting in the work to rise the collective conscience to where these things are known. Yeah, it's made a big change. So that's the one of the biggest indicators. You got white people out here sounding like Francis Cresswell singing, Claude Anderson, Professor Black Truth, Sa Netter. You got white people out here sounding like Sa Netter and Cyrus Unseti and Blue Pill and Red Pill. You got you got white people out here sounding like they done watch Sa Netter lectures. Come on now. And you're telling me that that's not a sign? Now I get there's a lot of y'all that are like, oh my god, it's a psyop. Oh, it's a distraction. No. This is what you guys aren't getting. Everything is not a distraction. Everything is not a psyop. Everything is not a psyop. There are things that are outside of their control. There's things that happen that they simply try to contain, or they try to change the narrative of. But there's things like that George Floyd thing. Let's say it was a psyop. George Floyd never died, whatever. How do you know? How do you know that the whole thing is not being? See, this is where black people highly underestimate their power. Highly underestimate their power. For example, Brother Panic in 2017 did a ritual where he told everybody to take a Captain America doll. I used all. You could use Uncle Sam, Captain America, anything that represents a symbol of America, and do the most vile things you can to that shit. Flush it out of the toilet, give that nigga swirlies, stab it up with pins and needles, burn it, stomp it out, do whatever, anything you could possibly do. Take shit off, anything you could possibly do. That's just horrible. Do it to this doll, and that represents America. And honestly, I think 2020 is I think that ritual it actually came to fruition. Regardless of if you think George Floyd is a psyop, COVID-19 is a psyop. COVID-19 was put out, and remember, you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it this way. The key words with COVID-19 was stay at home, stay inside. Now, ignore the COVID-19, ignore all that, but just listen to the word stay inside. Now, what is outside? If you went outside, what is outside? Light codes that the sun is emitting. The sun is heating up. The sun is emitting different codes because we're moving into a different time. You feel me? And listen, hear me out. How is it that literally about a month or two after they're telling everybody to stay inside, literally everybody starts sounding like Francis Cress Wilson? Now you can say, "Oh yeah, but they're still not woke. They still don't. Nigga, there's levels to the shit. There's levels to the shift. Shouts out to Young Pharaoh. There's levels to the shift. Understand me? Now, when you first woke up, it usually was 9/11 inside job. After 9/11 inside job, it was actually it was before then. Before then, it was like niggas used to listen to niggas used to see Jay-Z and Beyonce putting up symbols and stuff like that. And niggas be like, "Oh my God, they're devil worshippers, Illuminati, Illuminati, Illuminati." If you play this song backwards, Illuminati, Illuminati. That's what it used to be. You feel me? That's exactly what it used to be back in the day. So that's usually the first peek into consciousness. And that's usually everyone's first peek into consciousness on the black side usually. And then after that, it was in step two. You got the 9/11 inside job. The government is evil. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're putting chemtrails in the air and fluoride in the water, and they're doing this and they're doing that. Boom. Is that hell outside? I know that's not hell outside. I'm not even gonna look. But it sounds like it's hell. Weird. Today's solar eclipse, summer solstice. It's about time for me to come out here and make my presence known and shit, cause I know too much information to keep holding it back from y'all due to just me not being on my shit. So bring this out to y'all now. But yeah, that's level 2. Level 3, you start learning that level 2, you're still thinking, oh, this is happening because of the devil and it's the rapture coming and all that. Well, level 3 is where you start learning that Jesus ain't real, religion ain't real, and all religion is bullshit. So you're like, damn, if all religion is bullshit, like what I know there's something out there, because us black people know there's something else out there. We know it's more to this. We feel it deep inside. So we know that's when you start probably finding like the Ray Haggins and the blue pills, the red pills, and all them niggas. You get to level 3. The Cyrus who said he's talking about Egypt and where they stole it from. You start getting into Kemet stuff and all that. That's level 3. And then level 4, you start finding out that you was God the whole time. You feel me? And that's when you start you kind of start diving into metaphysical stuff. I'm not even gonna go into start naming people, but you start going into metaphysical topics. You start learning things beyond the physical. And level 5 is when you start learning shit like Brother Panic, the mind is all, the universe is mental. I create my own reality with my own thoughts. So right now, the masses are on about level 1 slash level 2. Some people in the masses are kind of moving towards level 3, but we're in between 1 and 3 right now as far as the masses go. The next wave they'll be finding out 4. Like all the shit that we believed is going to be. That's the point. Is Aquarius. He's the knowledge bearer, the light bearer. You understand? So that, and like I said, the sun. They wanted you inside because of the sun. What does the sun emit? Light. What is in that light? Information. And because of that information, guess what? Everybody is now on phase 1 of 3 of the awakening process that we all went through. But us woke people, a lot of times we went through this shit in like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Some people even before then. They was reading books. You understand? So right now, we're in the middle of something huge. Y'all just don't know it. You just don't see it. And there's people out here saying, oh, the COVID-19 and the George Floyd protests and the riots and the looting, that's all to cover up the deep state and Obama and Hill. Look, all that stuff is going to get exposed in due time, too. This stuff didn't happen because of that. This stuff isn't happening to cover it up. This stuff is happening at the same time as that because things just happen to be unfolding that way. They're getting exposed at the same time as the other shit getting exposed. Stuff is just coming to light. That's how shit is just gonna be moving forward. Shit is gonna come to light. Shit that people like me know, people like Brother Panic, Conjure Queen, um, um I can go on and on just naming people, Hood Mystic, Dream Wise. I could go on and on and on. You feel me? But I'm not gonna do that. But people like us have understood for a long time things like this that we've understood for years. The masses are going to begin to get on that level. People like us are outside the zodiac. You feel me? So whatever age we're in, we're gonna be able to see what's hidden in plain sight regardless. We wouldn't have to be in the Aquarian age to see things like that. You understand? Most likely we lived in past lives where we've gained this knowledge and collected this knowledge and it's carried over to where we didn't know it when we was born per se, but when we started to hear it, we was like, oh shit, that makes sense. A lot of times, if you didn't gain that knowledge in the past lives, when you hear that shit, you're like, man, that's bullshit. What is this nigga talking about? Nigga, turn love and hip hop back on. Nigga, what is you listening to? Nigga, turn that off. You be on that type time. Those are the people that didn't learn these things in the past lives, but when you hear it now, you're starting to remember it if you did learn it in your past life. So that's what's going on with the COVID-19 and all that shit. They wanted you in the house so you don't get the light codes from the sun. The George Floyd protests and all that shit is happening because of the light codes from the sun, awakening people to what is going on. And when you got white people out here sounding like Francis Cress Welsing, the average white person out here sounding like Francis Cress Welsing, that's how you know a shift has been made. On top of that, Kobe happened. Kobe, Cool New Energy, Rising, Black Mamba, all that stuff. If you know, you know. 2020 has been a movie, and it's honestly what we've been waiting for. And I want to let y'all know everything is going to get better. It may appear to be getting bad. The world is getting bad. Oh my God! No, it's not. It's getting bad for the elite. Because when we wake up, it's all over. They're going to have to accommodate us. They're going to have to spread their wealth. They're going to have to do all this shit because they need us. They need us for their system to work. Straight up, they can't just go ahead and bring the military in and get rid of black folk. They need black folk. They need us. Without us, there's no evolution. Understand? Now, I'm going to go into the next part because I broke that down. I told you I was going to talk about astral projection, virtual reality, and 5D and all that. So So, all right, so we have melanin. We can tap into different levels of consciousness and spirituality and just solar frequencies and just frequencies in general. I know I said solars, but like, well, when I say solar, I'm speaking of the soul. Yes, we get our soul from the solar system. You feel me? So, so with that being said, right, we can tap into different levels, different dimensions, higher realms that they can't really tap into. I feel like I'm not exactly sure how far they can go, but it's probably about higher fourth dimension. Maybe able to tap into the fifth, but the realms we could tap into is damn near unlimited. Understand? So what they're trying to do right now, just type in. I think Bill Gates said it. I don't know who said it, but somebody said, one of these rich billionaire white men said, by 2035 you'll be able to upload your consciousness into a computer and live forever. Now, if you're a black person, don't fall for that nonsense. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't do it because you can already live forever. That's the big game that they're playing on us. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's say if things do go to shit, war breaks out, World War III, blah blah blah. All right, boom. Why would you care? You're just gonna be in a better place if you die anyways. I know that's the harsh reality. It's harsh. It's the harsh truth of this whole world. They want you scared of death because it leaves you in a constant state of fear at all times. You're in a constant state of fear, and fear is the lowest vibration. So if you get rid of that fear of death, you get rid of that monkey on your back. It's gone. The monkey on your back is gone, and you're no longer afraid of anything. Let's say you had to go to war or whatever, and war breaks out or bombings happen. Like, all that's going to happen is your soul is going to leave your body, and you're going to have your mind that you have right now times 100. So if you're a depressed ass nigga, if you're if you're a nigga that's constantly living in fear, panic, and all that shit, you're going to go to a world of fear and panic and damn near hell. And pretty much hell. Heaven and hell is a state of mind. Whatever state of mind you're in when you die, if you're in a state of mind that the mass media and the elite power structure wants you in when you die, you're gonna go to hell straight up, and then you're gonna get reincarnated. Imagine, because when you die, you're gonna be in the fourth dimension, um, which is damn pretty much purgatory. It's this world, but the etheric version of it, the energetic version of it, the world that um, pretty much everything happens there before it happens here. So I'll talk about more on the astral plane later, because I have a good amount of experience in the astral plane. I'm not the most experienced, but been there enough times to break some things down to y'all. But uh, actually, I'm gonna break down uh, the astral projection and virtual reality and the consciousness thing. But overall, what their goal is to elevate this technology, because technology is magic. They don't want you to know this, but like, technology is magic, um, straight up. And when I say this, people act like it's a crazy statement to say, but how the hell is technology not magic? It doesn't make sense for it not to be. Like, nigga, I'm talking to you through a device that I hold in my hand. It's a portal to my room to where you can hear what I'm saying in here. That's, nigga, that's magic. Like like you could walk around with a video that I took across the world and experience it as if you was there with me, nigga. That's magic. And it's pretty much doing what we can already when I say we, I'm talking about melanated people, and white people can do also. White people have melanin, but they have less. Think of it in terms of Dragon Ball Z. You got the Saiyans, you feel me? Their power level is extremely high. They can just tap into all types of shit. And you got people like Krillin and Yamcha. White people is Krillin and Yamcha, while black people is Vegeta and Goku. That's all it is, and it's not racist. You feel me? Krillin and Goku, I mean Krillin and Yamcha, they can still fly, they can still shoot beams out their hands, they can still do magical shit, but they'll never be on the level of Vegeta and Goku. And that's all it boils down to. It's not racist. It's just facts. So what the white man is doing currently, they have to elevate their version of magic, which is technology, in order for them to live forever. They have to make so right now what they're gonna do is right now they're developing virtual reality, which is artificial astral projection, which I'll explain in my next video. But well, we'll be tapping into our version of magic, our higher consciousness version of magic, astral projecting, doing telepathy, and all types of this shit. Uh, they're gonna be elevating their form of magic, which is their technology, which is fine. But we just can't fall into the trap of thinking that they're the shit they got going on is the pinnacle of what we can reach. Once we realize, like, yo, nigga, I can communicate. I can use my own mind to communicate with a nigga across the world. What the fuck? I can use my own mind. I can sit here, lay down for 10 minutes and project my consciousness to Egypt and meet up with my homies and play super basketball, nigga. We flying, nigga. I'm dunking from full court, nigga. Once we on that type of time, which we was at one point. I think it's pyramids across the world. We was in contact with each other somehow. We had no phones. Nigga, we probably just sat down and rang the homie with our own mind. Nigga, cause if niggas can channel spirits, why the fuck can I not channel a living spirit? We just currently don't have the information on how to do it. We're in the age of information. We about to start figuring this shit out. We about to start figuring out all types of shit, dog. I'm telling you. We gonna start linking up on the astral, doing all types of shit, and they gonna be here fucking around with virtual reality. Meanwhile, I'm flying the galaxies, nigga, cause I just laid down, did some deep breathing for 5 minutes, and now, nigga, I'm flying from galaxy to galaxy, teleporting here to there, flying to different solar systems. Nigga, I'm sitting on top of Egypt, fucking my girl on top of the Giza pyramid, nigga. Like, come on now, it's no comparison. So, y'all niggas need to stop being so fucking scared of what the white man is doing and understand that everything they're doing is for their survival because they know the world we're moving forward into, they not gonna make it. So right now their goal is to just live as long as they can, develop their technology as much as they can to upload their consciousness into computers and live forever that way because you can't live forever in the way they've been doing. Um, not the way they've been doing, but they want to find a way to go beyond the fourth dimension, and they want to create a world that's better than the fourth dimension via virtual reality or uploading their consciousness into these things. Because it's like fourth dimension ain't even all that. It's like it's here pretty much. You still here. It's just an energy version of here. They want to go beyond that shit. You feel me? Or at least experience something that is, you feel me, or better than that. That's honestly their goal right now. So we moving to 5D. Shit's getting real. And honestly, um, the way that he is going to be moving forward, I don't even know if they're going to make it to that point. I don't know. But I'll be dropping more videos later on. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. This is an entity, and I'm out.